Hello, in this video I'm going to be comparing Burst Oral Care against Oral-B and against Philips Sonicare and try and help you decide which is the right one for you. So I want to start out by saying I'm going to try and be as impartial as possible, but I'm trying to give you the facts and inevitably a little bit of personal opinion may creep in. Now, there is no one best product here. I'm going to try and highlight some of the pros and cons so you can make your decision. But something you need to be aware of is at the time of recording, Burst have just one electric toothbrush. It comes in a few different colours, but this is one brush from one brand. Whereas Oral-B and Philips Sonicare, they have many different electric toothbrushes under their brand. So it's not very easy to compare Philips Sonicare and Oral-B because they have so many different models, whereas Burst at the time of recording just have one. So I'm trying to make a generalized comparison between the three brands, bearing in mind that Sonicare and Oral-B have multiple handles under their range compared to the single of Burst. So in order to try and make this comparison a little bit easier to digest, I've tried to break it down into the key sections and key considerations you might have when choosing an electric toothbrush. I've tried to pick a winner for each and hopefully that will help a little bit. So the big question you obviously have is which is best, and there isn't necessarily one that is best, but if I had to pick, and based on the categories I'm about to go through, Oral-B wins overall. Generally because of the features, the price. When you take that kind of package of items, Oral-B is the best solution for most people. But obviously that can differ based on your circumstances, so let's run through some of the different factors. So to start with, Burst are the newer company of all three, and their model is centered around a subscription-based system. So you pay an outright fee for the brush, and then you pay a recurring fee for replacement brush heads to be delivered to your door. The difference with Philips Sonicare and Oral-B is that you go out and buy the handles and then you go out and buy the brush heads as and when you need them. At the time of review, there's no subscription-based system associated with them. So Burst is a little bit more modern and geared to the younger generations who want the subscription-like model. So which brush has the best technology? Well, I'm going to give that to Oral-B, and that's primarily because it has this small round brush head. The small round brush head has been proven in multiple clinical studies to be more effective. It's also easier to move around more people's mouths in my opinion because it's smaller. Now that's not to say that the cleaning experience from Burst or Sonicare is bad. Studies is one thing, everyday use is another. All three of these on a daily basis are going to give you a good clean if used correctly. Just when you look at it from a clinical studies point of view, Oral-B wins out, and I generally think more dentists recommend Oral-B because of the advantages of the small round brush head over the slightly larger oval shaped brush heads you find on the Sonicare and Burst toothbrushes. Which is the best in terms of design? Well, ultimately this is of course personal preference, but if I have to pick one, then it's going to be Philips Sonicare. Their styling has come on leaps and bounds. They look very classy. They're often made from premium materials. They're well oriented in terms of where the buttons and controls are. They have nice touches, like the cleaning modes are often highlighted with light when in action. They don't have icons for the cleaning modes, they just have names. Lots of simple, nice touches, and that makes the design of Sonicare brushes stand out for me. Burst is quite unique with a kind of pattern design on it. It's perhaps a bit more fun. It's got like a smiley face on the power button, but things like these icons on the front of the handle are just harder to determine which cleaning mode you're using and don't help with the overall usability. So I think design goes to Sonicare. So which has the most features? Well, typically this is Oral-B and Sonicare, but if I had to pick one, Sonicare. They've recently added brush sync technology to a few of their toothbrushes, and this is quite an innovative feature that automatically changes the cleaning mode or reminds you when to change the brush head. Now, not all of these features are necessarily as beneficial as others or indeed needed. What's most important is that they have the most essential features, and for me that's a 2-minute timer and pacer, and all three brands have that in almost all of their toothbrushes. What Burst does miss out on that is now found on the majority of Oral-B and many more Sonicare brushes is a pressure sensor which alerts you when you're brushing too hard. But if I had to call it, Sonicare have more features, but that's not to say more features equals a better brush. It's just appealing to different people who maybe want some added benefits that aren't essential but could offer more to the overall experience. Which is the quietest? Well, again, that is Sonicare. It produces a sort of humming sound when you use it. Comparison to Oral-B, Oral-B is really loud. It's like a mechanical clanking sound. I mean, yes, it cleans well, but the sound is really loud, whereas Sonicare isn't. I mean, to try and describe that a bit more, if you were cleaning your teeth at night, you're in your bathroom and your partner was sleeping in the bed in the next room, then you'd have to shut the door with Oral-B because it's so loud. It's probably going to wake them up. Sonicare, you can probably get away with keeping the bathroom door open if you chose, because they probably won't hear the loud humming. Now, to be fair, Burst is very close behind in terms of Sonicare's sort of loudness. It produces a loud humming sound as well, and it's certainly a lot quieter than Oral-B. Which has the most accessories? Well, there's a variety of accessories available for all three brands. Burst, for example, offer replacement brush heads, travel case and coloured rings, or burst bands as they call them, to go around their brush heads, as well as power bricks. So they've got an array of accessories. Philips Sonicare offer similar sort of accessories. You get travel cases, you get charging stands, you get storage compartments for brush heads, and you even get some sort of premium accessories in terms of charging glasses for the more premium brushes. So it's just unique and looks a bit smarter. But Oral-B probably win for their array of accessories. So in addition to the brush heads that you get with any brand of toothbrush, you get charging stands, travel cases, you get smartphone stands, brush holders, brush head holders, and you get wireless smart guides, smartphone holders for the smart toothbrushes. So they offer a broader array of accessories. That doesn't mean you need them all, but if you're going for the most premium brushes that generally have the most features, they tend to come with the most accessories, and some of those accessories can be more useful for some people than others. For example, the most premium brushes from Sonicare and Oral-B both allow the brushes to be charged in the case. Now, although Oral-B offers the greatest array of accessories, the in-case charging is, in my opinion, better with Philips Sonicare than it is with Oral-B, because they plug in via USB, whereas Oral-B needs a proprietary power cable. Which has the best battery life? It's a bit of a close call, but Burst probably gets it. Has about a month's battery life, whereas on average, Philips Sonicare are around about 3 weeks, whilst Oral-B is around about 2 weeks. All of them have built-in user rechargeable batteries. They're not removable or replaceable by yourself. They're built in to keep the IP and water resistance of the toothbrushes, but Burst wins in terms of sheer battery life, very closely followed by Sonicare. Oral-B is the worst in this department. Which is the most innovative? Well, this is a bit of a tough one because innovations aren't always great, but if I had to call it, Sonicare is the most innovative. Sonicare and Oral-B both have smart toothbrushes which have Bluetooth connectivity and the ability to determine where they are in the mouth, which isn't necessarily for everyone, but it's innovation and it's advances. But I think Sonicare are more innovative because their implementation of their smartphone application is a little bit better, and as I mentioned before, they've got a travel case that allows the brush to charge inside it, but the way they've implemented that is better. And I think that is more innovative when you implement something in a way that is more natural for the user and offers a better user experience. So Sonicare wins on the innovation side. Which is the best quality? Well, to be fair, none of them are bad in terms of the quality. Burst perhaps feels the cheapest. That's not to say it's made from inferior materials. There's just certain elements like the bottom of the brush handle. The fit and finish isn't quite as good as Oral-B and Sonicare, and it looks like cheaper grade plastic. Oral-B on the whole is pretty good in terms of the quality. There's a little bit more plastics come into play with some of the Oral-B models. That's perhaps what helps them be a little bit better value. But Sonicare tends to stand out in terms of the quality. They just feel a little bit more premium. The materials feel better, and just there's a certain of quality, and you generally have to pay for that. But yeah, it stands out most of the time that Sonicare is better in terms of the overall product quality when it comes to everyday use. See, that's again personal opinion. Quality you often have to pay for, so kind of it's a balancing act really in the scheme of things. Which is the cheapest? Now this is where it gets a bit tricky because there's only one burst toothbrush and there's multiple models of Oral-B and Sonicare. Trying to make a rough calculation, basing it on the Sonicare and Oral-B equivalents to burst, then Oral-B comes out as cheapest. Now, to give you an idea, over a 3-year period, there isn't that much in it. So using an equivalently featured Oral-B or Sonicare brush to burst, I worked out the cost to be around about $136 for burst over a 3-year period, around about $120 for Oral-B, and around about $168 for Sonicare. So $40 odd difference between Oral-B and Sonicare, and then $15-ish between burst and Oral-B. So not a great deal in it. It does depend on the models and the prices and where you're buying them at, because there's so many variables, but as a general rule, Oral-B is going to work out cheapest. So which is best for families? Overall, I think Oral-B. Primarily because I believe the cleaning action is best for Oral-B. So if you're looking at your family, you want to make sure that they're getting the best cleaning action. So Oral-B stands out for that fact. You then have a broader array of brushes available from Oral-B's that you can pick from. All of them have a lot of the basic features built in, as does Burst and Sonicare, but there are some nice features that come with certain Oral-B models at a cheaper price point. So you can generally get more for your money with Oral-B, as we spoke about in the last point. So that's why I kind of feel Oral-B is better for families. And some of those extra features are not always apparent until you've used the brush for a few months. So for example, on the brush heads you get little coloured rings, and these can identify whose brush head is whose, and more often than not you get some sort of brush head storage compartment built in. So if you're sharing a brush handle with multiple users, the storage and the coloured rings can really make it easier to work into a family environment. Which is best for travellers? Well, I have to say this goes to Sonicare. There's a lot of arguments for both Burst and Oral-B here, but ultimately I look at it at the travel cases they provide. Primarily, if you're travelling or you're on the road for a long period of time and you need to recharge your toothbrush, the premium travel charging case that Sonicare offer on their Diamond Clean series that allows you to charge the brush in the case, it's really useful. The cable's built in, it's USB, so it's universally compatible, holds a brush handle and 2 brush heads, so you can go away and travel with confidence that your brush is not only going to be protected in the case, you're also going to get the long battery life from the brush handle itself, and then you're going to have the option to recharge the brush in the case without the need to take the charging stand. If you need to take the charging stand, it's universally compatible in the sense of it offers 100 through to 240 volt compatibility. You may just need a plug adapter and not a voltage adapter, and that's not necessarily the case with the likes of Oral-B. So which is best in terms of warranty? Again, this is a bit of a tricky one. Both Philips, Sonicare and Oral-B will come with warranties as standard, but they'll only last for a year or two, depending on which model and where you buy it from. Burst is a bit unique, and as long as you remain subscribed to their subscription model, you'll continue to get a warranty. So in many respects, Burst wins in this front because the warranty continues as long as you remain subscribed, which isn't the case with Sonicare or Oral-B. Even if you keep buying replacement brush heads, you don't get to extend the warranty, unfortunately. But all have been made to a pretty good standard and should be fairly reliable and last you on average 3 to 5 years. You just have the fallback with Burst that you have a continued warranty if you remain subscribed. So maybe one last fact to consider is really the availability of these brushes. Oral-B and Sonicare, you can go out to your local supermarket, grocery store, pharmacy, pick up the brush handles or the brush heads in most instances. You can't do that with Burst because you have to go direct to get that from them. So that relies on shipping and going to their website. So availability is better with Oral-B and Sonicare because you can't simply pop out and pick up a replacement Burst toothbrush head should you need it. So those are some of the key features and differentiators between these different brushes. Appreciate there's a lot of information to take in. There's a full written comparison that accompanies this video. Check the link in the description for that. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them in the comments section below. If you found this video useful, and I hope you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, click subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching.